All right, so get this. Fortunes made, dreams shattered, all that crypto craziness, right? We're diving deep today. This article I found, bold claim, 5 cryptos, 1,000x return by 2025.
Oh, 1000x. Yeah, those are the numbers that get people going. Headlines.
Oh yeah, big time. Now, crypto newsflash, that's where this article's from. So maybe a little bit. Got to be skeptical.
Right.
But that's what makes it fun. Let's break it down, these 5 cryptos, see past the hype. Is there anything real there?
Healthy skepticism, I like it. Crypto world, lots of excitement. Got to be careful.
Absolutely. We're not just blindly chasing, right? We got to understand what these things do. Informed decisions. And big disclaimer here, not financial advice, okay? Just exploring together.
Always good to learn, especially with crypto. So much happening.
Okay, so first up, Qubetics. Big idea, bridging
Yes.
the gap, traditional finance meets blockchain. Think like banks, issuing their own tokens, settlements, maybe even rewards programs. Pretty wild, huh?
It is, yeah. But do banks even want this? I mean, is this a problem that needs solving?
Exactly. Real problem, or just solution looking for a problem. And they've got this pre-sale going on, phase 9, price at 0.023, over $2.7 million raised already. Article even says $1,000 now, it could be $43,000 or even $65,000 if it hits $10 or $15.
IF, right. Those are some big ifs in that calculation.
That's where your expertise comes in. What are the actual chances? What's the risk?
Okay, so we got to look past the shiny numbers. Regulations, what about those? Are there solutions already out there doing this? And the big one, are banks even ready for this kind of change?
Lots to think about with Qubetics. Okay, next one, Arbitrum, ARB they call it, making Ethereum, second biggest crypto, easier to use.
Layer 2 scaling solution. Imagine like a separate highway next to a jammed freeway. Transactions off Ethereum's main network, so it's faster, cheaper.
Okay, yeah, link traffic.
Yeah.
But some people say Ethereum's fees, speed, it's not that bad. What do you think?
It depends. It really
Yeah.
does. Who's using it, what they're doing, it's all nuanced.
So like small transactions, maybe a big deal. But big institutions, maybe not so much.
Right. Smaller users doing lots of trades. Yeah, those fees add up. And when the network's busy, slowdowns gets frustrating.
So Arbitrum, maybe they have a point. But article says lots of competition in that layer 2 world.
Oh yeah, crypto's competitive. What makes Arbitrum different? Why would someone pick them?
As a developer, right. Building something new, why Arbitrum over the others? What should I be looking for?
Good question. Think critically. Don't just follow the hype. What's the real use? Who else is doing this?
All right, moving on. This one's using star power, Hedera Hashgraph. Their counsel, Google, IBM, Boeing. Big names, right?
They definitely like to show off those connections.
Right. Fast, low fees, good for the environment, supposedly. But big names don't guarantee success.
Nope. What matters is who's actually using it. Supply chain, digital identity, the article mentions those. Buzzwords, or are there actual products?
Okay, so look past the marketing. Are companies using it? I did some digging. Standard Bank Group, big in Africa. They're looking at Hedera for payments across countries.
Now that's interesting. Finance, that's ripe for disruption, so how's Hedera fitting in there?
Right. Actions speak louder than words. Let's see if they deliver. Okay, this one's all about speed. Kaspa. Fastest proof-of-work blockchain, they say.
Proof of work, like Bitcoin, but with this ghost egg thing, multiple blocks per second, much faster.
So like instant confirmation, bam. But gotta ask, what's the trade-off? Speed for security or decentralization, maybe?
Ah, the trilemma. Speed, security, decentralization, can't always have it all. So what's Kaspa's priority? What's been sacrificed?
If I invest, what about security with those fast confirmations? And how decentralized is? It's really important questions.
Definitely. Look under the hood, understand the tech, the downsides, essential before investing.
Okay, last one, stacks. Trying to bring smart contracts, like on Ethereum, to Bitcoin.
Interesting, especially if you're, a long-term Bitcoin believer. Make it more versatile.
So Bitcoin, super secure, store of value, now with all those apps and features. But this is where it gets tricky, right?
Yeah, Bitcoin wasn't built for this. Forcing it, is that a good idea? Could it create new problems, security holes?
Square peg, round hole.
Yeah.
And will developers, users even want this? Will it catch on?
Lots to consider there. Look into the tech, how secure is it, and is the ecosystem growing?
Okay, so 5 cryptos, big promises, first impressions, anything jumping out at you?
Qubetics, that ambition, traditional finance, it's bold. But can they convince those big institutions? Not easy.
For me, Hedera, those big names, they need to turn that into real use. Can they walk the walk? We'll have to keep digging.
Indeed.
But that's a story for part 2 of our deep dive.
Stay tuned.
All right, back for more. 5 cryptos, those 1,000x gains. started strong. Question those headlines, what's the reality behind each project?
It's easy to get caught up in the potential, but a smart investor always looks deeper.
Right, peeling back those layers. Okay, so what should we dig into next?
Let's go back to Qubetics, the one that wants to, revolutionize finance, right?
Yeah.
Banks issuing their own tokens.
Yeah, rewards programs, blockchain settlements, all that. But you made a good point. Do banks even want this?
That's the key. So I did some research, blockchain and finance right now. It's a mixed bag. Interest is there, but widespread use, not really.
What's holding them back? Just being slow to change or something more specific?
It's a few things. Banks, they don't like risk, especially with new tech. Regulations around crypto, that's unclear. And security, big worry.
Makes sense. Banks, they're dealing with people's money, got to be careful. So even if Qubetics has the tech, can they overcome that?
Exactly. Benefits are one thing, but is it secure, reliable, following the rules? It's tough.
All right, Arbitrum. That layer 2 thing for Ethereum, like a separate highway, making things faster, cheaper.
Okay.
But is it really necessary? Are Ethereum's problems that bad?
That's a debate, honestly. Depends who you ask, what they're doing with crypto.
So someone new, small transactions, maybe it matters more. But big institutions, maybe not so much.
Yeah, you got it. Small users, lots of transactions, fees add up fast. And when it's busy, slow. Frustrating.
So Arbitrum, they might have a point then. But lots of competition in that layer 2 space, you said.
Oh, tons. What's their edge? Why pick them over the others?
Right. If I'm a developer, I need to know that.
Right.
What makes Arbitrum stand out?
Well, one thing, they work well with Ethereum. So developers can bring their existing stuff over easily. Less work, more users.
That's a plus. Anything else?
They use optimistic rollups. It's a way to bundle transactions, do them off-chain, cheaper, faster.
Okay, so they're doing some things right.
Yeah.
But always a but, right? Downsides, limitations. What should an investor know?
One thing, right now they use a centralized sequencer. It's like a single point of failure could be a target.
So some centralization, that's not very, blockchain-y. What does that mean for users, developers?
It means there's trust involved, and that's not ideal in a decentralized world. But to be fair, they are working on fixing this, decentralizing it.
Okay, work in progress. Let's move on. Hedera hash graph, the one with the big names on their council. We got to look past that, right? Real adoption, what's happening?
They have made some good partnerships. Google Cloud, IBM, Standard Bank Group, like you mentioned.
Yeah, big players. But what are they actually doing with Hedera? Real applications.
Lots of things, actually. Supply chain, verifying documents, creating tokens, digital identity stuff. Standard Bank Group, they're looking at payments between countries, and digital ID.
That's interesting. Those payments, so slow, expensive. If Hedera can fix that, big deal.
Right. And digital identity on the blockchain. Control your own data. That's powerful.
But how many are actually using it? A few examples, or is it really taking off?
It's more nuanced than that. Progress, yes. But compared to some other blockchains, still early.
So on the right track, but work to do. What do they need to do to get bigger?
Competition's tough. Lots of blockchains out there. Hedera, they need to stand out. Why are they the best choice?
Sure, they're not just a name, right? More than a few partnerships. Okay, Kaspa. Speed, speed, speed. Fastest proof of work, that ghost egg thing. But speed isn't everything. What are we giving up for that?
Exactly, you trade something. And with blockchain, those trades can be big. One worry, security. Fast confirmations. What does that mean for attacks?
Like someone spending the same crypto twice? Does that become easier with Kaspa?
It's possible. Normally, slow confirmations help prevent that. Kaspa, it's faster, so maybe more risk.
So a balancing act, huh? Speed is great, but at what cost? Decentralization, that's important too. How's Kaspa doing there?
Another trade-off. Lots of blocks, fast, means more storage needed.
So you need a powerful computer to be part of it. That limits who can participate, right? More centralized.
That's the worry. High-cost, high-tech requirements means fewer people running the network, not very decentralized.
So with Kaspa, it's all about understanding those trade-offs.
Yeah.
Okay, last one for this part. Stacks. Trying to put smart contracts onto Bitcoin. Bold idea, but some challenges, right?
Yeah, smart contracts on top of Bitcoin, very interesting. But how they do it, that's important. What risks are there?
Bitcoin, it wasn't made for this. So how do they make it work without messing up Bitcoin?
They use proof of transfer, Stacks miners. They use Bitcoin to be part of Stacks, secures both blockchains at once. So they get Bitcoin security, but can also do those smart contracts, build apps.
So they're like working together.
Yeah.
But any system, you add complexity, there can be weaknesses.
Right. New features, always some risk. One worry, could this create ways to attack Bitcoin that weren't there before?
And if that happens, could it hurt Bitcoin itself, since Stacks is connected to it?
That's the key question. Look closely at their security. Where are the weak points? Can they keep Bitcoin safe even if their own system has problems?
Big responsibility. Okay,
So-
so adoption then. Are people using Stacks, or is it just like a small project?
It's growing. Some apps being built, finance stuff, NFTs, even social media.
A community, that's good.
Yeah.
But compared to like Ethereum, Solana, those big ones, how's it doing?
Honestly, early days, Ethereum, so many developers, users, apps already.
Long way to go then. We got to show they're better than what's already out there.
Exactly. Prove their worth. Show they're secure, reliable.
All right, so much covered today. What are you thinking? Any of these looking like they could hit that 1000x?
Tough to say for sure, but cautiously optimistic about a few. Qubetics, if they can get those big financial institutions on board, could be huge.
Yeah, and Hedera, they're focused on real uses, good partnerships. I'm keeping an eye on them, but got to stay skeptical too.
Always. Crypto, lots of surprises. 1000x returns, that's rare. Understand the risks, be realistic.
Well said. We'll be back for part 3. Wrap it all up, final thoughts. Stay tuned. Back again, the deep dive. 5 cryptos, all shooting for those crazy 1000x returns by 2025. We've seen their ideas, the tech, the challenges, all of it.
Quite a journey, right? The good, the bad, separating the hype from what's real.
Yeah. So, final stage now. Big question time. Do any of these actually have what it takes to hit those numbers?
The question we've been building up to all this time.
For sure. Starting off skeptical, I think that was smart. Question those big claims, look deeper.
Absolutely. Tech stuff, real world use. Who else is out there doing this? We covered it all. Found some red flags, things to worry about. Those trade-offs investors got to be aware of.
Okay, let's recap. Qubetics, they want to bridge that gap. Traditional finance, blockchain. Tough sell, those big institutions.
Yeah, got to prove it works. It makes money and it follows the rules. Not easy, but big reward if they pull it off.
Arbitrum, the Ethereum helper, layer 2. Good compatibility, but that centralized thing. Potential for problems.
True. They're working on it, but something to watch. Layer 2, it's always changing. See how they adapt.
Hedera, big name, some good partnerships. But can they get bigger? Compete with the heavyweights.
Need more developers, more apps built on it, show what it's good for, lots of different uses.
Kaspa, all about speed. But maybe some sacrifices made there, security, decentralization, fast confirmations, maybe easier to attack. Lots of blocks, maybe harder to participate.
Classic trilemma, can't have it all. Kaspa speed is king, but what's the long-term cost? We'll see.
Stacks, smart contracts on Bitcoin. Bold but risky. Adding all that complexity could make Bitcoin vulnerable.
True, and will people use it? They need to show it's secure, it can grow, build a real ecosystem, like Ethereum has, but on Bitcoin.
So after all this,
Yeah.
now of them convincing you. Those 1000x returns.
Honestly, I'm always skeptical of those kinds of predictions. Crypto, it's unpredictable. These 5 interesting ideas, but 1000x by 2025, that's a gamble, not investing.
Yeah, so many things can change. The market, regulations, new technology, even just luck.
Right. High returns are exciting, but don't let that blind you. Do your research, understand the tech, know the risks.
So what's the big lesson here? What do you want listeners to take away?
Don't invest in a story. Invest in understanding. Learn about the tech, the people behind it, what it's actually used for, who else is doing it. Don't get fooled by hype, promises of getting rich quick. Be critical. Think for yourself.
That's great advice. Crypto, full of potential, but also lots of danger. Informed decisions, that's what matters. And that starts with digging deep, like we did here.
We've given you the tools. Now go explore, ask questions, make your own WN decisions. What are your goals, your risk tolerance? It's up to you.
And remember, learning is valuable in itself. Keep exploring, keep curious, and enjoy the ride.
Happy investing, everyone.